Hello and welcome to Becoming a Farmer here in Ghana. It's been a long time since we met, and today we're going to talk about very important topic, farm profit. Farming is a business, and just like any other business, you need to know whether you are making profit or you are running at a loss. But most farmers do not actually do their calculation well to know whether they are making profit or not. I have traveled throughout the country and I have met different farmers. If you look carefully, you would get to know that, or you would understand that more than 80% of our farmers do not know whether they are making profit or they are running at a loss. I would explain this further so that you would be able to understand. I mean, sometimes they only invest, but if they are going to do the actual calculation and subtraction, they will know that they are not making profit, or they are making a little profit, or whatever that you do on the farm, you need to pay. Your time has to be paid. Your labor has to be paid. Your workers must be paid for. So all of these things put together would get you the expenditure. So if you don't put all of these things together, and at the end of the day, you might not be able to know whether you are making profit or not. But mostly farmers only look at what they bought. I mean, for instance, they bought this amount of fertilizer, they bought this amount of agrochemicals, they have engaged laborers to do some work for them, but they don't also add the overhead cost. They don't add their labor, they don't add their salary, they don't add how much their wife, their children should be paid for the work they have done. And so at the end of the day, they don't know exactly how much they have made, how much profit they made from the farm. Today, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take you through some steps, give you some scenarios of 3 farmers that I met. And these farmers are using different processes or different steps to calculate their profit. Now, farmer A, who has a very big farm, does not add his labor to the expenditure. He does not also add overhead costs to the expenditure. After harvesting his farm produce, the income he gets, he subtracts it from the expenditure, which is the fertilizers, the agrochemicals that he bought. Then he would assume that what is left is a profit. That is what farmer A does. So he doesn't add his labor, the cost, how much he should be paid at the end of the month, at the end of the week, or how much he should be paid per hour or per day. He does not add. He does not also add the cost, the overhead cost. When we talk about overhead cost, we are talking about maybe traveling cost. You've made some repairs and other stuff. He doesn't add that to the expenditure, and that is what farmer A does. And he assumes that after subtracting the expenditure from the income, whatever that is left is a profit. Farmer B does not also add his labor, his salary to the expenditure or the expense that he makes. He does not add the overhead cost to the expenditure. But farmer B keep records or keep tracks of the number of hours he spends on the farm. So at the end of the farming season, what he does is that he then subtract his expenditure from the income and get the profit. After getting the profit, farmer B would then divide the profit by the number of hours he spent on the farm, and he would be able to determine how much he's being paid per hour. That's what farmer B does. And then he would then be able to say, okay, I have paid myself this amount, probably maybe 100 cedis per hour on the farm. So if he had done like 20 hours, then he should be getting about 2,000 cedis, right? 2,000 cedis or so from the farm. Now, farmer C actually does everything. He adds his labor to the farm, to the expenditure. He adds the overhead cost to the expenditure. He adds the workers, including the children, the wife, to the expenditure. So at the end of the farming season, after he's gotten his income, after he has sold the farm produce, he will now subtract the expenditure, which includes his labor, his salary, which includes the whole overhead cost, which includes whatever he pays or he paid to the family, the wife, the children, the laborers, and other staff, and subtract it from the income, and then he would now get the profit. Now, the reason why every farmer must do this is because you must know how much you have made from your farm, so that you can have savings for your children, so that you can have saving for whatever that would happen in future. For instance, if you fall sick, you will need someone to work on your farm, and you must pay the person to work on your farm. So if you are not able to know exactly how much you are making on the farm, so that you will be able to make good savings, then you are not actually doing a very good business. That is why we have always said that a farmer who does not keep records of his farming activities is actually, would always fail. And he would think that he's making profit, but at the end of the day, he's actually making nothing from the farm. So it is important as a farmer to keep records of all of these things, so that you know that I've invested 2,000 Ghana cedis, I've gotten my 2,000 Ghana cedis back, and this is the profit I have made. You either use your profit to reinvest into the business, or you save it for your future use, for your children, for your family, for whatever you want to do. So farm profit is very important, and how you calculate it is very, very important too. Don't just invest, and after all, you've invested 3,000 Ghana cedis, and at the end of the season, when you get like 5,000 Ghana cedis, you are happy because you think that it was only 3,000 Ghana cedis you invested, but you didn't include so many things. You didn't include your labor, you didn't include your salary, you didn't include traveling cost, like the overhead cost. You did not include all of this. So you cannot just say you have made 2,000 or 1,000 Ghana cedis profit. Probably if you include those things, you would know that there is more to be done next season. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sure you have learned something from this episode, and so if you are a farmer, this is what you need. Adapt to the third farmer, Farmer C, who keeps records of everything and knows that he has made a certain amount at the end of the season. Thank you so much. I'll be here next week with another episode.